Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 141 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. 9 games to go, baby. It comes round so quick though, doesn't it? We were talking about this 2 weeks ago. We said in 2 weeks when we do the podcast, there'll be less than 10 games to go. It's flown by. It's getting exciting now. Is it though? Is it?
Nail biting.
Yeah, it is.
At this moment in time, as we record this podcast, we are going up to the championship.
We're not champions.
No,
we're going up.
We're going up. As it stands today.
Yes, we will talk about that a bit more, obviously, but
yeah,
it is scary because all these thoughts start rushing through your head now of where we're at, and then the what ifs start in my head. That little voice going, what if we'd have held out at Charlton? We'd have another 2 points now. What if that, we when we played Cambridge at home and we dropped them 2 points because we give that penalty away there. What if we'd have held on to that? There's so many what ifs that come into your head and you can't do anything about it.
No, so what's the point of worrying about it?
I'm not worrying about it, but they just keep popping in my head going, oh, just remember this. We should have done this and should have. And
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, I know. And
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, but it is one of them. And I just started thinking about all this stuff. And then I start looking ahead going, well, if we do get to the championship, how many players are we going to need to buy? How many of our players in the current squad are we actually going to hold on to? And then you start looking around going, maybe not you, definitely you, probably not you, probably. And then you're going, oh my God, how much do we have to spend? And each player's going to, and I just start, I enter meltdown mode.
I think Parky and the team have probably already they were probably already in discussions about that after the first game. Probably.
Look,
the season.
I think the thing is as well, is I think where the worries come from. We've still got 9 games to go. Anything can happen, but the worries come from. I know that when you get to the championship, that is the point when you have to start spending proper money.
Yep.
You may be able to pick up the odd bargain here and there, but if you want proper players, you've got to spend proper money.
Well, we've just had that massive investment, haven't we, into the club? So I think behind the scenes, Rob and Ryan are doing their bit. People are moaning and saying, oh, they're not coming to the games as much as they used to, and which, you have to remember, this is their business, but they've also got like their acting jobs and stuff like that. And also in the background, we don't know what they're obviously discussing with investors and stuff like that because we've just had this 14 million, was it?
Yeah, which we assume is the Allen family.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they are working in the background, they're getting investors and all this kind of stuff to enable us to get the players that we need,
if we go up.
When we go up.
Yeah,
It's inevitably going to happen sometime. Why not this season?
Yeah. See, I'm a big believer as well in. I think we've talked about this before. Is when your opportunity arises, you can't shrink back and go, "We're not ready." You've got to grab it because you don't know when that opportunity is going to come round again.
Another 15 years?
No.
15 years in League One?
You get me? You don't know what's going to happen. So when the opportunity presents itself, you've got to grab it with both hands, which I'm sure the players are doing, but there's...
Yeah, sometimes you do doubt that, though, some of the games, like the Reading game.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So we're going to talk about the Reading game, obviously. We're going to talk about Saturday's huge clash with Wycombe. We're going to have a little chat about an absent figure from the squad, and then we're going to look ahead to our return to the Stoke Kairos with our game against Stockport. We're going to have the quiz, but I suppose news, quite sparse this week for news. I find that when there's a lot of games, so Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, there's not a lot of news that comes out.
No.
Probably because there isn't really any time for any news because you're just focused on the games. The only thing worth mentioning is our game with Wigan. That's away at Wigan on the 12th of April. The kickoff time has been moved to 12:30 UK time, and that is to accommodate Sky, as it always does.
So, talking about absent figure. The absent figure. There's actually two absent figures, but the main one that we're going to talk about today...
Yeah, we need to talk about Paul.
...is Mr. Paul Mullin.
Yeah. We do need to talk... we need to talk about Paul because it's... it's just a strange scenario at the moment.
There's so many rumours going around.
There is.
About
Look, he's not been in... It's not just he hasn't played. He's not been in the matchday squad for the last 5 games. Okay, that's 5 games in a row that he hasn't even, got his way onto the bench. He's not started a game since the 4th of January. So we're looking at 2.5 months since he last started a game. He's only got 5 goals this season, but 2 of them have come in the EFL trophy. So he's only got 3 goals in the league. Some people might say, well, that's a bit of a stupid stat because if he's not playing, then he can't score. Yeah, I get that. He's currently ranked, because he has played this season, but he's currently ranked 14th in the squad for minutes played this season. So that is, you're a touch away from being into your, how many subs do we have at the moment? 5 or 6, is it? You have on the
6, I think.
So you're almost drifting out of, match day squad minutes as well. Revon has almost played more minutes than him this season. And
he hasn't played that much.
And I think that if Revon would have played on Saturday, I think he's only something like 14 minutes behind Paul this season. So if he would have played on Saturday, Revon would have had more minutes in the league squad this season. And that, I think, for me, puts it into perspective because of how little we've seen Seb this season.
And now all of a sudden...
but we've seen him a lot more recently, but very little over the course of the season. And then to realise he's pretty much on the same amount of minutes as Paul, that puts it into perspective of how little Paul has played. There was rumours, there's so many rumours, just to touch on a couple. There's a rumour going round that Paul's dad had a go at Parky. That, it wasn't, his dad was sort of shouting at Parky saying, I can't believe you're not playing him. There was rumours that Paul had fallen out with Parky about lack of game time. There'd been a falling out, and that Paul had actually phoned Ryan and Rob to say that he wasn't happy. That was another rumour that was going around. I think that one came... That was on Twitter on Saturday morning. I think it was a Fearless in Devotion post, actually, and somebody had commented underneath saying the rumours about it. No. The rumours about him falling out with Parky. And him phoning Ryan and Rob. And then Paul actually replied to that tweet saying, I think it was just a one-word answer. He just put nonsense. So I think that's quite telling, because if it's true, as an
and he was annoyed at Parky, he wouldn't bother.
You just wouldn't reply.
He wouldn't put the rumours to bed, would he?
Because if it ever came up in the future, you'd just go, well, I never even seen it. I never saw that. So why would I, if I would have seen it, I would have replied. But, that's what you'd say. You just keep quiet. But he's come out and said, no, that is nonsense. So I think you've got to believe what he's saying then, that he hasn't fallen out with him. I dare say he's annoyed at not being picked. But I think it depends how he feels he is within himself and what his game is like. That I think that depends. If he knows, look, I'm not at the races, it's not working for me at the moment. Then I think you're more comfortable maybe in your own skin that I know why I'm not playing, because I'm not performing.
Yeah.
If he feels like he's at a level where he should be starting or he should be at least making the bench, that's when you would get annoyed. I think it's just how honest he is with himself, because as fans we can't really judge him at the moment because we're not seeing him. The only people that are seeing him are the people that are staff players that are in and around training.
He is still training.
Yeah, I get that he's still training.
So he's not like, if he was annoyed with Parky or whatever, I dare say he'd be like, I'm not turning up for
I don't think he's that sort of guy. No, I think, there are rumours about other people refusing to train.
He seems to be that sort of guy though.
Yeah, he does, without mentioning names because I don't want to do that. But yeah, there is somebody who apparently has refused to train, and that feels more in character with that person and what we know about that person. Paul, he doesn't seem like that sort of person. He seems like a head down, I'm going to work and I'm going to try and get back. But for whatever reason, he's not getting back at the moment. Now, Parky's very good at protecting his players.
Yes.
A lot of the time.
Yes.
So, it might just be a form thing. He doesn't feel like he's going to contribute anything to that team. Although there's lots of cries from fans going, I feel like he would contribute. But we don't know where he's at the moment. But we also don't know how much of an issue his back is after the operation in the summer. Yeah,
it was a chosen operation that he had. But let's face it, he had spinal surgery.
Yes.
That is not like a little sewing up of a little cut.
No.
It is major surgery.
Yeah, and I think the worry, which we've said on this show loads of times, when somebody has something serious, an operation, a leg break, something like that, you always worry. Like Andy's in this situation now, where he's got an ACL injury, he's going to be out for up to a year. The worry is always, are they ever going to be the same?
Yeah.
And you do worry whether Paul is maybe just not the same player anymore.
Yeah.
There are so many different scenarios. Has he just reached the ceiling for his talent? Amazing in the National League. Amazing in League Two. Step up to League One with all the pressures of having a major operation. Is it just... is this his ceiling?
I don't think that we can... Anybody can say that this is his ceiling, because we haven't seen enough from this season to warrant to say that. Well, we haven't seen him enough.
No.
He has scored 5 goals. It's not as if he's not scored any goals. But yeah, I don't think anybody could say that he's reached his peak or ceiling or whatever, because. Yeah, we haven't seen him play enough, I don't think.
It's hard. It is hard, isn't it? There was
calls
from a lot of media outlets going, I think he should leave at the end of the season. I think, to try and get more football. It's a difficult one. Loads of calls for the Smith-Mullin partnership.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it, but I'm not sure it would work as well as the... do you know what? Do you know what I would like? I know we're talking about Paul Mullin, but I would like Fletcher Smith together.
Yeah,
because they seem to really.
They do, but I'm not sure Fletcher's got it in his legs.
No,
and I think we are playing Stephen Fletcher perfectly at the moment.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it works. When he comes on, he has a huge impact. When he starts, it doesn't always happen that way, and I just think we are using the Stephen Fletcher card perfectly at the right time at the moment, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think if we keep using him at this time, the way that we are, I think we may have him a little bit longer.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
He's not, it's not taking his toll as much.
Exactly.
Toll,
I would say, but I don't know. Don't know.
Anyway,
but yeah, so it's a strange one.
We'd love to hear your comments about Paul Mullin. What do you think the situation is? Do you think that he deserves a place in the starting 11, or even just on the bench? Do you think that Sam Smith has now come in and he's kind of, he's shown his worth? And just let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, I think what it would also aid to see Paul and Sam play together. I think it might make people, because a lot of people are not, they look at Jay Rodriguez and they go, just not for me. It's not working. I can't see it working. I don't understand that as a partnership. A lot of people are saying that, okay? And I think if you bring someone like Paul in to maybe replace Jay Rodriguez, you go back to your full-on two up front.
Yeah.
I think it might make people appreciate what Jay Rodriguez is actually doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Because he's not doing anything flashy, fancy, or anything that you sort of feel he's making an impact. And I think it's like that whole relationship thing. You don't know what you've got until it's gone.
Yeah.
So maybe take it, if you were to take him out and try something different, maybe people might appreciate what we've actually got when he's playing.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm still on the fence about Jay Rodriguez. I'm not saying it's working or anything like that.
I'm still hoping that he gets his goal. I'm still hoping.
I know.
But yeah, we'll see.
Look, but like Sean said, let us know what you think about the Paul Mullin situation. Do you want to see more of Paul? Do you think we're quite settled at the moment and we're actually playing well and maybe leave it as it is? And we'd love to hear what you think anyway.
Yeah.
Look, if you do want to support the show, you can do that by buying us a coffee. All you need to do is head to buymeacoffee.com/me the wife. Huge thank you to Sarah Murray this week, who is an absolute superstar. And thank you very much for supporting the show.
We love you, Sarah.
We do. We really do. And one thing that you can actually do on Buy Me a Coffee now is you can become a monthly supporter of the show. So basically, when you go on, all it's ever been is a case of if we never ask people to do it. This is free, but if you do want to support the show, you can go on there and you can do that. But you can make your coffees a monthly thing. So you go on, you put the amount in that you want to do, and you can click monthly, and then you cancel it at any time and that sort of thing. So if that's your thing, you can do that. That's your bag. But yeah. So thank you to Sarah this week. We love you. Quick Fantasy EFL update. Little change. So Ben Parker still running away with it at the front. Ian Dougal has actually moved up to second. Haven't seen Ian for a while, have we? He
went to what game did he go to? I'm sure he said he went to the Reading game.
Did he? I haven't seen it. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him for a bit because we normally see him in the turf, don't we?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he doesn't live around here though.
No, he doesn't. No. Third place is C. Williams. Whoever you are, let's not get into that. Let's move on. So let's talk about Reading.
So we had Barney was back in the starting lineup, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
However, Revan. Oh my God, I'm never going to get his name right. Seb kept his place. However, McLean was in as well, but he was in midfield.
Yeah.
Which I think possibly he's... You know me, I like James McLean in any position.
Yeah.
But I think midfield might be his sweet spot.
Look, he was always a midfielder,
yeah,
James
exactly.
McLean.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, he drifted into a more sort of like left wing back position.
Yep.
It's whether you got the legs for it at this age, because the midfield's very much the engine room, and I think if you want to prolong a player's career for as long as possible, I'm not sure you put him in the centre of midfield.
Maybe why he doesn't do it all the time.
Maybe. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I thought Seb didn't have the best of games at Reading.
I don't think any of them did.
No, they didn't. But I think Seb maybe sort of stood out a little bit. Especially in that first half, I didn't think he's been fantastic for weeks, but I just felt like it didn't really work for him on Tuesday night. Did no Brunt again, which really annoyed me. But again, nothing had sort of come out about him not playing. No Mullin. Obviously, as we mentioned, but Fowl was on the bench. So this is sort of like a continuation of what we were talking about before. No Mullin, but Fowl was on the bench. And that raised a few eyebrows with a few people just sort of going, well, we can see some progression with Mo, but a few people were going, well, how is he making the bench and Paul's not? Look, we've got lots of good strikers at the moment. I mean, if you're sitting there, let's just put Paul to one side for a minute. If you're sitting there as Jack Marriott and you're not getting a game, you sit there, surely, for what you did at the start of the season at this level, and you've shown you can do it, and you're knocking in goals, to now not getting it, be getting in that team. Obviously, coming back from an injury, we get all that.
Yeah.
But I would say maybe he's a bit more annoyed than maybe Paul is. I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't. I think both sides were quite poor first half. You watched the game, I didn't. So
I did. I watched it with my mum and dad. They came round, and it was lackluster, to say the least. I think from both sides.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a boring game, but you kind of, when you're watching it, this is so boring. But then you think, if we could just come away with a point, it will be all worth it. But it didn't work out that way.
No, but I think both sides were quite poor in the first half.
Yeah.
And it sort of felt like nothing was going to really come from it. I know Barney had a volley in the first half, didn't he? That was sort of deflected over.
Yeah.
But you sort of get to half time and you're going 0-0. No sides really sort of, put their mark on the game. I always, when you get to 0-0 at half time, you know what we're like. We're very much a second half team.
Yeah.
And you sort of think 0-0 at half time, I'll take that. Yep. Even sometimes 1-0 down at half time, you go, look, the second half's ours.
Yeah.
And you sort of feel like we're going to push and we're going to move on. So I wasn't too disheartened, to be honest. Second half started. I think quite a soft penalty maybe. Owen was a little bit lethargic going into that tackle. Sort of just swung a leg instead of going and sort of taking sort of control of the situation. I very much felt it was outside the box.
It was 100% outside the box.
Well, I'm going to disagree because I've seen the replays. It's 100% in the box.
Well, only just then. Yeah,
it was only just, but it looked outside, but it wasn't. I just think the contact was, I don't know, it was just so soft for me. Probably a penalty, maybe. Just soft. Just soft. Nibs sent Arthur the wrong way. We mentioned him last week, top scorer. He's now scored more goals for Reading than Sam Smith did when he was there. So, he's really kicking on. 4 minutes later, I've got to be honest, it was a really nicely worked goal from them. They just sort of danced around us in the middle. And, some really slick passing, really nice finish, good build-up, good finish. We were 2-0 down. and it was like, you were watching it. So when we were 2-0 down, gut reaction, what did you sort of feel? Did you think, right, we're going to kick on now and something's...
I always think that. I think, do you know what? It's going to put a rocket up their backsides and they're going to do something. They're going to produce 2 or 3 goals in the next however many minutes, because you know how much we love a late goal as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just didn't. I don't know. They just didn't. I don't know what was going on. I thought when they went in at half time, I thought, do you know what, Parky's going to be effing and blinding in that changing room, and they're going to come out and they're going to be firing on all cylinders, and we're going to get some good quality goals. But yeah, it didn't. It just didn't. It didn't come into fruition, and it was quite frustrating to watch, to be honest.
I think it was one of them games that you watch and you just sort of get to the end, and you go, they haven't started.
No, the better team won at the end of the day.
Yeah, they did. I don't think anyone deserved anything in the first half.
No.
Let's be honest. But on that second half display, like I said, the second half is usually ours. And we go out and we take control, and, the second half is us. And we just did nothing. It didn't feel like we got going at all until something I really liked to see. I thought the ref was quite brave. The ref wasn't great, but none of the refs at this level I don't think are particularly fantastic. But the time wasting thing. So
Yes.
the lad got a second yellow card for time wasting. And the ref had the balls to go, right, no, I'm not having this. I'm not having it. I'm not having you wasting time. You give him a second yellow. The refs are quite happy dishing out yellow cards when the player hasn't got a yellow during the game. They're more than happy to go, look, you're time wasting, there's a yellow.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they're already on a yellow, the refs are a little bit, giving him a second yellow for time. But he did. They went down to 10 men. I think there was about quarter of an hour left at that point. Even though they had a man less, they probably maybe had the best chance. Sort of in that last 15 minutes, a volley from 8 yards, should have scored, should have made it 3-0. We did have one cleared off the line though, sort of later on. And just, I think for me, it sort of felt like we bottled it a little bit, because it was our chance to go second. 3 points clear in second place. That was our chance to do that and put a little bit of pressure on Wycombe. And there was something important on the line during that game, and I just felt like we bottled it. It was just disappointing all round. I don't think anyone really, covered himself in glory during the game.
No.
Parky came in for some stick, as he always does when we don't. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later in the show. But, tactics weren't working. But they work 80% of the time, so it's really difficult, But I think the thing that people are maybe annoyed by is the adaptability of the tactics sometimes. Not working. Stop banging your head against a brick wall. Let's change and let's do something different. I think Mark touched on it a little bit on Saturday of, people always ask for a plan B. Mark was very much like, you don't really need a plan B. You need to make your plan A work.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure that's always the case, though. Surely you've got to be adaptable in certain situations, Because, like I say, if you're doing something and it's just not working, there has to be something that you can do to change that.
Not always. You just have to admit defeat and just say...
Yeah, but my point here is there might not be anything you can do, but surely you have to try something else.
Maybe.
And maybe that's why it doesn't always sort of, Boston, Wrexham FC Boston said full recap. And just a poo emoji. Martin Bradshaw really missing Cannon and Dobson in the middle. No creativity until Longman came on. Rodriguez, Revon, not in the game tonight.
I work with Martin.
Oh, Martin Bradshaw,
Yeah,
right.
I work with him.
You work with him?
I work with him, yeah.
Right, okay. Brendo, dismal performance, no teeth, no juice. I like that.
I love his profile picture.
Why, what is it?
Steve
yeah,
Fletcher.
Steve Fletcher, yeah.
Rick O'Brien, disappointing. Players couldn't get on the same page to complete an attack. Can't help to feel Mullin should be out there with Smith. Referee was poor, but that was for both teams. Need to shake this off and show up Saturday with a better team attack. Roller coaster continues.
It certainly does. P. Will, Longman should have started. If we don't draw a win at Wycombe, that's it. We're not getting promoted because Wrexham just don't win playoffs, unfortunately.
No, there is a first time for everything. You
Yeah.
never know. Sydney, no sugarcoating. It was abject. We are desperately short of a midfield that can get hold of the game and dictate the pace. We look leggy all game, a frustrating night.
George Dobson's ponytail said, hopefully this is fuel for the motivation we need to focus and pull it together on Saturday against Wycombe. A bit of a Tuesday roundup. So Wycombe and Stockport didn't play on Tuesday night. Bolton lost 3-2 away at Bristol Rovers, which is a little bit of a shock. Charlton beat Crawley 1-0, meaning they were fourth, 5 points behind us. Reading moved to within 2 points of the final playoff place occupied by Bolton. We stayed third on the same points as Wycombe after Tuesday. I was on Tuesday. I'm so bad. On Tuesday I was I'd sort of gone, automatic promotion's gone. I'm so bad at doing this, right? I just got, it's gone now. Just forget it. It's gone. It's not happening. And, you know, it's proper childish, and it's like toys out the pram.
Yes.
And I'd sort of, yeah, it is.
Very childish.
But it was sort of like I'd half given up on it and just gone, oh, look, if you're going to perform like that, how are you going to do anything at Wycombe? And, you know, and I don't know. It is, you know, we called an episode a few sort of weeks ago the Wrexham roller coaster.
Yeah.
It full on is that. It is. It's like we look good, we look okay, and we're winning. We look terrible, we're losing. We put in a really good performance. We keep the ball on the floor, we're passing it forward, we look progressive. Oh, we're going backwards, and it's just so hard to know what you're going to get from this team. I think somebody did mention something that I had sort of... it was Sydney said, we're desperately short of a midfield that can get hold of the game. And at times, I agree that sometimes you need one or two players in that midfield that are just going to grab a game by the scruff of the neck and go, right, this is our game. And we're going to dictate the pace, and we're going to put you on the back foot, and we're going to push you forward. Sometimes I just don't feel like we've got that in our locker. Sometimes we look great, and we look like we dominate games or periods of games, or 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 20, you know, and we look really good. And then other times you can go through a whole game where you're going, for God's sake, just someone grab hold of this and sort of make it theirs, and it doesn't really seem to happen. But anyway, you have to put that to one side. We were on to Wycombe on Saturday. We'd played one game more than them.
Yeah.
We were level on points. So it was very important for us not to lose, yes. I felt. But I don't know how you felt, but I sort of felt
we're going to lose then.
No. I just felt a draw wasn't going to be good enough.
No. Not after Tuesday night's performance.
Because we should have been going into that 3 points clear of them.
Saturday should have just been, let's get even if we came away with a point, it would have been okay if we'd got the 3 points at Reading.
Yeah.
But because of the loss at Reading, we needed to get the 3 points at Wycombe. And obviously Wycombe, have been on a great run this season. But you because we beat them on the first game of the season, you kind of wanted to go in and go, yeah, we want the 3 points from them again. We wanted to get a full 6 points out of these guys.
Yeah.
So it was really important to get the 3 points. So it was so important that they performed from the start.
Yeah.
Not just in the second half like we usually do. Not in the last 5-10 minutes that we usually do. We need to, from the moment that first whistle went, in the first half, we needed to, get our game on, and we didn't. Yeah,
before we get into the football, I think it is important to say that, obviously to the Wrexham fan that was taken ill in the 78th minute, causing the game to be delayed for as long as it was.
Yeah.
We wish you a very speedy recovery.
He's in a stable condition at the
Yeah.
moment. He is in hospital. He's in stable condition. His daughter actually posted on Twitter saying, because they didn't know who the guy was that had been taken ill, and they were trying to ring him, and they couldn't get hold of him, and it turned out that it was her dad.
Yes.
But she said that she was waiting for a flight to come home, so she was obviously whether she lives abroad or she was abroad. But yeah, she put on there that he's not out of the woods yet, but he's stable. He's in hospital. He's got his wife and his daughter around him, so hopefully speedy recovery, and you're back in the
we don't know
stands.
if we don't know if you listen, but if anybody does, please pass on our sort of well wishes.
Yes.
I think huge respect to Wycombe, their stewards, their medical team, the fans, and for me the players as well. The Wycombe players came back out at the end of the game and they clapped the Wrexham fans, and which I think was a really nice touch.
Yeah.
I think they went up in my estimations as a club on Saturday for everything that sort of happened.
It's sad that it had to take a fan to be taken ill for respect of a club to kind of...
Yeah, it is really, because I think sometimes you just want to go to a game and you just want to go, respect to them, for whatever it is. But it is sad that it has to be something serious. But I think it was a nice touch for me that their players came out and clapped our fans. So respect to them, or respect to whoever it was who made them do that, because I don't know if it was the players who chose to do that or whether somebody said, look, it'd be a nice touch if you went and did this. So it happened. Obviously, we won't talk about this too much, but it happened obviously in the away end, and the people that were around this man who were taken ill were trying to get the refs attention. And fair play to him, he was quick, and they've actually, the daughter actually said the fact that the stewards, the medical team and whatever, and emergency services was so quick, they basically saved his life. So so massive respect to everybody who were involved in getting that man to hospital. Definitely. On to the football a little bit. Brump came back in for Tommy. I
didn't have him in my lineup. I was disappointed.
A huge plus for me, because I think Brunt's a proper defender, and I think we were talking earlier about who you take forward into the Championship. He is one of a handful of players that would be on my list, along with Max. I'm not going to go through the list, but he is one that would definitely be on there.
I love that for Max. I absolutely love it.
Longman was back in for Barney. Not even a place on the bench for Barney. No. Which was
although
strange.
He did, I'm sure, I can't remember, but I'm sure he got tackled twice. At the Reading game. So I think maybe something has happened and he wasn't fit enough to play at Wycombe. That's my guess. He got tackled, or they banged into each other or something, and then he kind of went off to the side, and then he came back on, and then he got tackled again. So I think that's the issue. The reason behind him, Barney, not being on the bench or in the team on Saturday.
Maybe, but it's a strange conundrum at the moment. Barney, Longman, which one do you go with? I would like to see them both. I'd like to see what Longman's like down the left. He looks very good down the right, but he is used to playing on the left and cutting inside. So I that's what he did for Hull. So I would like to see that. I would be quite interested. But, at the moment, we're left with this conundrum of, Ryan or Ryan.
Ryan or Ryan.
Yeah, so...
Barnett, as they were calling him.
Barnett. Ravon was out, which I didn't think was a huge shock. McLean was back at sort of left wing back. Before the game, I think Wycombe have got one of the strangest mascots I've ever seen.
Yeah, our lad said that, didn't he? He went, "What the heck is that?" It's a strange one. It's just a man, isn't it?
Bodger, his name is.
Why?
He's named after their all-time top goal scorer. I can't remember, it's something.
Does he look like the top scorer? Like
I don't think so.
Has he got like a square head?
No, his name's Horseman. Something Horseman. Something like that. I can't remember now. I do apologise if that's not your name. But yeah, he's their all-time top goal scorer. He only ever played for one club. And his nickname was Bodger. That's why they call this guy Bodger. But but I think he played like 700 games from way back in the day, and he scored 400 odd goals. So yeah, their mascot is based on him. Such a creepy looking thing, though.
He was when we were watching, he was talking to a kid.
Yeah.
And it was like, and that kid was sort of like backing off.
It was, yeah,
it was
I know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was. Look, scrappy game.
It was a scrappy game.
Really scrappy game. No teams.
Scrappy, crappy.
Crappy, yeah.
Scrappy.
Maybe. And it was, no team could really string 3 or 4 passes together. It was sort of like ball went in the air, and it was like initial knockdown, second ball, and then someone will get it, pass it, lose it, and then it was rinse and repeat, and it was back the other way. And yeah, it just, I think the first half probably belonged to Wycombe.
They usually do, don't they? They usually do belong to the team that we're playing.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Yeah, very true.
That's no like shock there.
There was a few easy-ish saves for Arthur.
I thought he did well on Saturday.
I thought he was fantastic, to be fair.
He was. I mean, some of the saves that he did make. I know he did have a few easy saves.
Yeah.
But he also had a couple of,
he really
fair
did.
play to you there, mate.
Yeah, it really did. I think, I think the closest we came to anything was I think Max crossed it in, and their defender went to put it out, and he just sort of dribbled it past his own post.
Yeah,
quite
literally
close.
just a little bit closer, and it would have been in.
Yeah, look, half time, 0-0. You sort of go, I'd sort of take that. How many games has it been 0-0 at half time for us? And you go, I'll take that, because I don't think we were the better team in that.
Yeah.
I think Wycombe looked the better team. They had some good players, good on the ball, and I was happy with that at half time, I think. Second half, Smith sort of does what he does best. Just chasing down lost causes constantly. One of their defenders headed it back to the keeper. Smith nicked in and it hit the post. And it was really unlucky because it was on the inside. It was the inside of the post as well. We had a penalty shout. So Smith and someone else went up for a header. Your dad was convinced.
Oh my God. I thought there was going to be a fight in our house on Saturday. My dad was like, "That's 100% a penalty," and Ryan was like, "No, that's never a penalty in 100 million years." And I thought, I was doing, because I was getting ready to go out, so I was sitting on the floor doing my makeup, and I was just like looking, and I thought, "Oh my God, please."
For me, it's
do not disagree with my dad.
But it's not.
No, I know.
It was, for me, it's not a penalty. But I mean, I get the sort of reasons why people might think that was a penalty. Look, both players have gone up for a header.
Yeah.
The obviously the Wycombe player's got his arm in the air, and he's sort of leaned into his back and he's headed it. You can't start giving free kicks for stuff like that, or penalties for stuff like that.
Stephen Fletcher would get one all the time.
But
he does it quite a bit.
Yeah, you'd just be giving free kicks all the time.
Yeah.
And, if you put 2 hands in somebody's back and push them, that to me is a push, it's a foul.
Yeah.
If somebody goes up and wins a header over somebody else, I think at the end, Sam was never winning that header.
Yeah.
He didn't push his head away from the ball. He'd just gone up and he's won a header. For me, the fact that Sam's ended up on the floor, so what? Yeah. Get up, get on with it, and it wasn't. Sam felt like he'd been sort of.
Yeah.
No one else really made a fuss.
He was sitting there with his hand up in the air, going,
No one else made a fuss because everyone else had seen it in real time.
I think Sam was just desperate at that point.
Maybe. Look, that's the point where we sort of had the medical emergency in the crowd.
Yeah.
We had a very long stoppage. We were actually we were going out for dinner.
Yeah.
We worked. We was like, when should we go out for dinner? What time? We'll book a table. We booked a table for 5:30 because we thought game will be done, dusted. So yeah, we had to go out just as the game was sort of restarting, and
we were on the way to where we were going for food.
So it was. So straight from when the game got stopped, Wycombe had a corner. So when it restarted, it went back
Yeah.
into for that corner.
So 73 minutes it
78
started.
it was.
Was it?
Yeah, so Wycombe took the corner straight from the restart when it did eventually get going again. They had a header and George Dobson cleared it off the line straight from the restart. Really not lucky, maybe lucky a little bit. You know, really good.
Skillful, Ryan.
Really good work by Dobbo to get it off the line. And then Sam Smith popped up with another goal.
It was a screamer, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, look, is he right-footed or left-footed, Sam? Anyway, look, it was on his, it was Matty James had a shot, looped up in the air, came down, Stephen Fletcher header, and Sam hit it on his left foot, deflected off the defender. I'm not sure if it was going in or not prior to that, but Sam's got it. I did see a few rival fans on Twitter going, that was it in the corner flag if it didn't get the deflection. And I was like, it wasn't that. It was either on target or it wasn't. I'm not
cares?
Sure. And I think there was just, Sam went and celebrated in the place in the crowd where the guy had the medical emergency. So I don't know if he was, and he did the little heart thing that he did, that, and I think he'd specifically gone to celebrate there. So friends and stuff like that.
I love our team.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but the Wrexham Twitter account, X account, had posted like part of the AAA where Sam, it's just like raw emotion where he's screaming into the crowd. And it must be a strange one because I sort of feel when something like what happened on Saturday happens, when the teams come back out, if that is your fan that's had to go through that, I think that gives you something. I think that gives you something extra to go, we're going to win this for you.
Yeah. Well, Parky said that in his after interview. He said that, he's dedicated the win to Wrexham fans, and I think obviously to the guy that was taken ill as well. So yeah.
Look, Wycombe had a great chance to equalise. It was an amazing save from Arthur. Down to his left. The lad, Owen made a mistake
Again.
Okay, all right, it's all right.
Sorry.
Owen made a mistake, and then what happened is our whole defence went, we've got to put this right, and drifted out to the left, left a man completely unmarked in the middle.
Yeah.
He caught it okay, but Arthur got down, made a really good save. The lad should have scored, should have been 1-1, but Arthur made a great save. It was his 13th clean sheet of the season.
Fabulous.
And it was Wrexham's 21st clean sheet of the season in all competitions.
Good.
We're up to second, obviously, so we're 3 points clear of Wycombe. Everyone needs to remember Wycombe play on Tuesday, and we do not. They're away at Rotherham.
They play their round 26, which we played on Tuesday.
Yeah, so that's their game in hand on Tuesday. We can't do anything about it, so we can't counter their result with one of our results. If they win, they go back second. Anything less than a win, we stay second.
Come on, Rotherham.
Yeah, so I think it was nice on Saturday to sort of... The Parky haters are still there. Oh. They're still there and they're still moaning. The way I always look at it now is 20... I've got the Boreham Wood concept in my head.
Okay.
Right? 23 months ago,
Yep.
right, we were playing Boreham Wood
Yep.
in the league, and it was the game that we ended up winning and getting promoted, and we ended up on the pitch. Okay.
Yes.
So Boreham Wood.
23 months ago.
Yeah. So Boreham Wood are currently in the National League South. Okay. 3 leagues back, and only 23 months ago we were playing them on a level playing field, both in the same league.
Yep.
That's how I always look at it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people out there who have this argument of going, yes, we're picking up points, but it's not pretty. It's not enjoyable to watch. I get that argument, because when you're going to games,
you're paying for it and
you want to be entertained.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, I think getting the points sort of is the entertainment at times.
Yeah.
And it depends what you want, because, I love a good defensive display. So if you go out there and you're solid in defence, you keep a clean sheet, that's a bit of excitement for me. Dobson clearing off the line, Arthur making good saves, last-ditch tackles. That to me is exciting.
Yeah.
I get the flip side of that is people want to see exciting attacking football, which we don't always provide.
Yeah.
But it's so difficult. It depends what you want, and you can't please everyone all of the time. It's very much like the NFL, American football, where, when it comes to that, I like good flair attacking football. And when a game's very, the defences are on top, I find that boring. But flip to our football, when a defence is solid and is really doing its job, I find that entertaining. So it depends what you want. Yeah. I get that it's not always exciting, but you want something different to the other people want, and I don't know where I sit with it. For me, the sweet spot, an absolute perfect scenario, is I get excited by the defensive display and everything but we also play exciting attacking football as well. But in life, you can't have everything of the time.
You cannot.
You've just got to go. Look, we're second in League One, and it's genuinely on. It is genuinely on now. We have 9 games left. It's on, like Donkey Kong. Isn't it, though? It is.
Yeah.
It's within touching distance. It's not in our own hands.
No.
To a degree, because of the goal difference. But, we're there, aren't we? We can almost taste it. Mm. That sweet nectar of the Championship is almost there. Look, we are only stat for you.
Yeah.
You know how I like a stat.
I do know.
I enforce my stats onto you.
You do, yes.
We are one of only 7 teams out of the 92 in the top 4 leagues with 20 wins or more. One of only 7 out of 92 to have.
That's good, isn't it?
Yes, it is very good. Correct.
Yes, it's good.
Look, we're heading into Stockport on Saturday. It's the first time we haven't had a midweek game since the week commencing the 20th of Jan.
And it's typical you're on an early this week.
Yeah, I know. So I could have actually, exactly. But, I think that's really important, to be doing that. One last thing. If you were on fan coach number 4 on Saturday, I do feel very sorry for you, because the coach leaving Wycombe actually broke down 5 miles outside of Wycombe.
Oh.
And they were still waiting for a replacement coach at 10 o'clock last night. There was somebody that I saw who does actually follow us on X. Her name's Tori. She's from America.
Uh-huh.
She was on that bus, and she was catching a flight back to America at 6 a.m. this morning.
Oh, crap.
On Sunday morning, sorry, not this morning. And they got back to Wrexham at 3 a.m. So she literally got back at 3 a.m. and had to rush to the airport to get a 6 a.m. flight, which she got, I think.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, it is. It's crazy, isn't it? But look, a few comments. Owen Roberts, crap first half, but by far the better team in the second half. Rick, best wishes to the fan rush to the hospital. Hopefully all went well. Not a well-played classic, but the 3 points were key to the automatic promotion hunt. Players defended intensely and put their bodies on the line with each tackle. Grinding it out and deep balls is the game plan. Deep balls. Not sure how I feel about the words deep balls, but yeah.
Anyway, Del Boyd, very important win today. Great to watch the anti-Wrexham brigade meltdown on the forums. JPH, prayers for the fan and family. In the last 26 games played on a Saturday, Wrexham are now 25-1.
Yeah. 120, Drawn 5,
I know.
lost 1. Okay.
I know.
You just stopped talking, so I just...
Oh, I didn't. I thought that was another comment. Sorry. Love him or not, I do. They simply don't lose back-to-back under Parky. Last and only time was in February of 24.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it, really? The only time we've lost back-to-back league games is, I think it was Salford away, which we went to, which was atrocious.
Yep.
And then we lost to Bradford at home the next game.
Which was atrocious.
Yes, look, if you do want to get in touch with the show, you can comment on this video on YouTube, comment on one of our posts on X or wherever you see them. You can click...
And every single social platform, thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I'll get to them.
Wow.
Click contact the show. If you're listening to this as a podcast, it's at the bottom of the description. Or get in touch on Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or email us at me, the wife, and wrexhamafc@gmail.com.
Just before I start talking about the Saturday Roundup, please don't introduce any more social media platforms because it's getting quite a hefty list at this moment in time.
It is indeed.
Anyway, Saturday Roundup, Stockport won 1-0 away at Bolton.
Bolton have actually lost back-to-back games now, which, you sort of look at Bolton going, they're on the charge.
Yeah.
And they've now lost back-to-back games, and you're going, okay, I think sometimes that puts into perspective... Oh, actually, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take what we're doing at the moment because, you could be in Bolton scenario. They look really good. Lost back-to-back games.
Yes. Charlton beat Wigan 2-1. Huddersfield found their scoring boots at home as they beat Crawley 5-1.
Which is mental. So league table looks very healthy.
It looks lovely.
It looks really good at the moment
It
to
does.
see us in that second spot. It's really nice. I'm not going to poo-poo it, right?
Okay.
But we have not scored.
If you say you're not going to poo-poo something,
Yeah.
and then you went, but
Yeah.
you are going to poo-poo something.
I'm just giving facts.
Right, okay.
Devil's advocate. I'm
right.
just giving facts.
All right.
People can take them on board. They can do what they want with them.
Okay, dokie.
We've not scored more than 1 goal in a game in the last 5 games. Okay? We've not scored more than 2 in a game in League One since November. That is the longest run of any team in the top 6 to have not scored more than 2 goals. This is where goal difference might come to bite us. Because Wycombe are currently plus 27
Yep.
goal difference. We are plus 21. We're 6 goals behind them, which is the reason why they win on Tuesday.
They go back up.
They go back up to second. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I'm just giving facts that we are possibly struggling for goals a touch, and that might come back and bite us a little bit.
Anyway, on to the next game, 38th game of the season, league game of the season. We are back on our own stomping ground on Saturday where we play Stockport. Saturday the 22nd of March at 3 p.m. They play in blue. Their away shirt is a light pink. Their third shirt is blue and yellow. The last game that we played with them was a 1-0 defeat on the 16th of November. And obviously that was at... can't think of what their ground's called.
Oh, I can't remember now.
Edgeley Park.
Yes, well done.
Thank you. We have played them in 3 different leagues since 2022.
That's mad though,
It is
isn't
a
it?
bit mad.
3 different leagues. So since in the last 3 years we've played them National League, League 2, now League 1. That's mad. Stat for you. The home... Now, I don't want to jinx it.
Don't say it then.
No, I've got to say it because
No,
it's an
don't.
important stat.
La,
The
la, la,
home...
la, la.
The home team have won the last 6 meetings between these two. Okay?
Okay.
So that bodes quite well for us that we're playing them at home on Saturday.
Yeah.
So the home team has won the last 6. So just saying you can carry on.
Okay, so their top scorer, they've got 2 top scorers. They've got Kyle Wooten and Isaac Olaofe. Olafe, who have both scored 7 goals so far this season. They beat Bolton 1-0 away on Saturday. They're 4th on 65 points. They've won 18, they've drawn 11, and they've lost 8. Their last 5 games, they've won 2, drawn 2, lost 1.
I think their last 3 away as well. They've won 1, drawn 1, lost 1.
Okie dokie.
So prediction time.
Predictions, right. Oh, I always do that.
You always go into the wrong little spreadsheet.
Well, it says it at the top, and then you click into it, and
I
it's
know.
like...
Yeah,
You are incorrect.
You ready?
Oh my God, you won the Wycombe prediction.
Did I?
Oh, you scumbag.
I forgot. I didn't. Did I went for 1-0? Did I?
You did go for 1-0.
Wow. And you were just going to gloss over that?
Well, I wasn't, because you would have noticed it when we...
Wow, so I've won again.
Yeah.
So I've won another one.
Yeah.
So that puts me more in front of you than I was before.
Yeah.
How many? What am I, like 5 in front now?
You have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And
Yeah.
I've got...
4.
4.
Yes.
Anyway, predictions.
So I'm 2 in front with 9 to play.
Yeah.
Oh, this feels good.
You might be getting the medal this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, and it has to be presented on a velvet pillow.
No. Right, what's your prediction then?
I'm going to go for 2-0.
Yeah?
Oh, I'll 2-1. Oh, my brain just went, you sure it's not 2-1? Oh, what are you doing?
I was going to go 2-1.
I'll go 2-0 then.
Okay.
Make it different, innit?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Happy days.
Happy days.
Look, quick shout out for Dragon Chat before we move on to the quiz. It's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 weekly Zoom calls. One is on a Monday at 8 p.m. and that is for women. The other is on Thursday at 7 p.m. and that is for men. If you want to get on that call, you're watching us on YouTube, have a look in the description. All the details of that Zoom call are down in the description. Alternatively, you can go to the Wrexham AFC website, go to the Communities tab, then the Health tab, scroll to the bottom and you'll find Dragon Chat there. You can also follow them on social media. I nearly tripped myself up then. You can also follow them on social media. They are at Dragon Chat WXM FC on X, and they are also at dragonchat.bsky.social on Blue Sky.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes, but make sure you don't click it whilst it's
am not.
in the view of my eyes.
In the view of my eyes.
My
right.
eyes.
You mentioned Rob and Ryan sort of at the top of the show, didn't you? About they haven't really been to many games.
Oh my God! Don't.
So I have done a little bit of a Rob and Ryan themed quiz. Okay. So this week, I've been sort of looking into certain things and having a just a little nose around. Obviously, they took over the club on February the 9th, 2021.
Yes.
Okay. So this quiz is called Since Ryan and Rob Took Over.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Question 1. Since Ryan and Rob took over, how many ex-Premier League teams have we played in a league fixture? Okay. There is options. So Premier League started in 1992.
Yeah.
Okay, so teams that have played in the Premier League that we have subsequently, since Ryan and Rob took over, played in either the National League, League 2 or League 1.
Right.
Okay. Is it 4? Is it 7? Is it 9? Or is it 11?
9.
It's not 9, it's actually 11. We've played 11 ex-Premier League teams in league fixtures since Ryan and Rob took over. Number 2, since Ryan and Rob took over, can you name 3 ex-Premier League teams we have played in a league fixture? Just for the purposes of this, a little caveat, Wimbledon or MK Dons, that they're not in this. Technically Wimbledon have been in the Premier League, I think, but obviously they went out of business. So look, they're not in it. Right, just to clarify that. Okay.
Birmingham.
3. Correct.
Huddersfield.
Correct.
Charlton.
Correct. Do you want to keep going? Just for...
Oh, I was going to swear then.
just for...
Shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Reading.
Correct.
I want to say Salford, but I don't think they have.
Absolutely not.
No, because isn't...
They're as high as they've ever been. League 2.
Right, okay. Rotherham.
Incorrect.
Blackpool.
Correct. Should we end it there?
Yeah, because I can't think. My brain's just
Okay,
gone.
Oldham, Bradford, Swindon, Birmingham, Charlton, Bolton, Huddersfield, Reading, Barnsley, Blackpool, Wigan. Okay, but you got
Wigan,
that.
of
Yeah,
course.
got that one right. So move on. Since Ryan and Rob took over, how many league games have Wrexham AFC won? Is it 102, 111, 119, or 130?
119.
It is 119. Well done.
Don't give me a sarcastic clap.
It wasn't just a single.
Yeah.
That is 3 out of 3, I think. Oh, no, it's
2
not.
out of 3.
2 out of 3, sorry. I'll bring you back down to earth. Since Ryan and Rob took over, how many players have we signed? Is it 36, 45, 54, or 67?
Read them again, sorry.
36, 45, 54, or 67?
45.
Incorrect. It's 54 players we have signed since Ryan and Rob took over the club. Yes. And question 5. Since Ryan and Rob took over, how many games have we lost at home in the league? Is it 7, 9, 12, or 15?
At home?
Correct.
Read the options again, sorry.
7, 9, 12, or 15?
12.
It's only 9.
I was going to go for 9, but I thought...
We have only lost 9 games at home.
It's pretty impressive, to be fair.
Since February the 9th, 2021. That's bonkers, isn't it?
And, yeah, people are... Yeah.
It is mad. I think it's mad anyway. And but yeah.
Mad. It's a mad old world, isn't
Madness. I think you need a little sleep, don't you?
I'm not sleeping very well at the moment. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've got this hog next to me snoring.
Wow. I think it's probably more that you're in pain with your hip than it's anything to do with me lying next to you.
Yeah, but I like to give what the fans want and, blame you for everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm happy to take it. Do you know what? A bit of a game changer. And this is nothing to do with football, right? But somebody mentioned something on another podcast that I listened to. You're talking about me, us sleeping next to each other and me keeping you awake.
I know
or
what you're
whatever.
going to say because I was listening to it at the same time as you.
Where are you?
About the bed.
It's about a bed.
Yeah. It's
not the thing that you think it is, no. Just anyone, out of interest, somebody said an absolute game changer, if you sleep sort of in the same bed as somebody, is instead of having a double duvet, have 2 singles. Apparently it's a huge thing. I'm just interested, just using our platform. I know it's nothing to do with football. Does anyone actually do that? But apparently it's a huge... It's
not very aesthetically pleasing, though, is it, on your bed?
It's not, but apparently it's...
Why just not go the whole hog and just have 2 separate beds?
No. 2 separate single duvets, and apparently that makes for a better sleeping experience.
Well, to be fair, that probably would, because last night you kept stealing the duvet off me.
See?
I was freezing at one point.
There you go. See? Does anyone do that? Comment. Please comment. Fill our comments with whether you do that or, it's a good idea or whatever.
It's not happening in our house because it just won't...
Just abusing our platform now,
yeah, it just won't look nice in our bedroom and I'm not...
We're the only ones who go in there. What's it matter?
Yeah, but,
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us this week. Shan will get some rest and be on better form next week.
Yeah, sorry, gang.
It's all right. It's okay. I'll carry the ship.
I look like crap as well.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah!
No, I didn't say that. No, you don't need to listen to that back. I am here to steer the ship when my second mate is not feeling the best. I am fine to steer us through the choppy waters.
Yeah, I'm just tired. I just need a nana nap now.
Yeah.
Little nana nap for the afternoon before the football comes on later.
Yes. Look, thank you very much for joining us. Please join us again next week. We will be obviously doing a pre-game show before the Stockport game and a post-game show, obviously, straight after the final whistle.
Hopefully it's going to be a nice, positive, happy, elated post-match review.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Look, enjoy your week as much as you can, and we'll see you next week.
We love you all.
Bye.